What's up, guys? I'm Random Frank P, back with episode 239 of Room Tour Project, the series where we show off some of the best setups to give you some ideas and inspiration for your own setup, hand movements. And this week we have the special budget edition to show you some really cool setups that don't break the bank. Now, as I always say when we do this, these are just a lot more scaled back than usual. So I don't have what they spent down to the cent on their setup, but you're not going to be seeing triple monitor setups, Threadrippers, all that. Just more scaled back setups. If there's anything you'd like, I'll have it all listed for you in the description down below so you can check it out. We'll start it off now. 239. This episode is sponsored by the Corsair HS70 Bluetooth headset. If you're looking for a wireless gaming headset under $100 that works for it all, Mac, PC, Xbox, PS5, your Switch, your phone, your mom, anything, they got you covered with the HS70 Bluetooth. It's got great sounding custom-tuned 50mm neodymium drivers, a fully detachable noise-canceling unidirectional microphone, and stellar build quality. If you want to check it out, I'll have a link for you in the description down below. First up, we have Crimson Cyan. With almost a Crimson Cyan setup, I'll give it to you for the RGB. It looks a little bit more, bright red and blue, but we'll give it to you. But what I like about this is the makeshift L-shaped desk. You can see for the main setup here, a pretty small compact desk, but then off to the right, just like one of those picnic table kind of things to more affordably replicate the L-shaped desk. Solo monitor is the way, saving some money with a 24.5-inch Asus monitor. It is 144 Hz, but again, if you're gonna have one, making sure it is spec'd out like that's a good choice. And it comes in under $200, so it's still not even breaking the bank when you consider all the gaming monitors out there. For the peripherals on the desktop in terms of audio, the Logitech Z213 speakers and the Audio-Technica ATH SR6BT, and those are probably one of the more expensive items in this entire setup, believe it or not. And for the mouse and keyboard, we have the TechWear Phantom L and the Redragon M601 mouse. So again, two very popular peripherals that are definitely under 50 bucks. And then we'll check out the PC over on the right side on that sort of picnic table setup. We have the RAK Hilia M case, and RAK's a very popular company from the Philippines. Inside of a Ryzen 5 2600 CPU, the Deepcool Gamex GTX cooler, 16 gigs of HyperX Fury RAM on an MSI B450M motherboard, and a Gigabyte GTX 1660 Ti graphics card. I like the little bust of the Stormtrooper there as like a little, accent piece on the inside as well. So all things considered, you take a look at this aesthetically, it's a very nice looking setup. Good matching wallpaper for the color choice, going with the red and the blue RGB, so all matching there. Nice clean appearance overall, I'd say. Definitely a good example of putting this all together and showing what you can do without breaking the bank. Wonder how many times I'm going to use that phrase today. Next up, we have Sam897 with a very interesting layout here. I like this. Everything is powered by his laptop, which he sits in front of, and he also has a TV next to it, which is going to act as his secondary display pretty much. So for the actual laptop itself, it's an HP Omen. He said he bought it refurbished as well, again to save some money. And for specs, it's got an i7 6700HQ CPU and a NVIDIA GTX 965M for graphics. And that's also mounted on an arm, so it's propped up right in front of him, and it gives him room to still use his extra peripherals like the mouse and keyboard. But real quick, that side display, like I said before, it's a TV. It's from Olivia, and it's a 32-inch LCD TV. But again, using the dock for his peripherals, his keyboard is the Royal Kludge Sync 87G and Logitech G602 wireless mouse, and also is sort of like a desk lamp. You can see that the mood ball or the orb with the little globe thing going off to the side. Ample RGB as well, with some light strips under the desk, behind the displays, and a little spot behind the setup to kick back, relax, chill. Really like the way it's all set up here. So the takeaway from Sam is, pretty much dock the laptop, use it as the dedicated workhorse for the setup, and say you have, an old TV lying around. You don't gotta pick up a brand new gaming monitor, hook up whatever you have next to the laptop, and now you have dual displays. So good thinking and a good setup here from Sam. Now is L-Team, and visually, this looks really nice and clean. Another use of an L-shaped desk here, but also another laptop setup. Not the most interesting wallpaper choice, I'll say, but that could be a note to work on. But the laptop itself is an HP Pavilion. It's got an i5 9300H CPU, 8 gigs of RAM, and an NVIDIA GTX 1050 for the graphics. So that's off to the side, and that's then hooked up to a 27-inch Philips monitor, mounted nicely to the wall with just a cable strip running down to maintain that nice seamless appearance. As you can see with the red RGB light strip behind the desk, it's going to match his chair, as well as some of the red accents in like the peripherals. For example, the headset there has red accents. That's the Logitech G332 headset. And for the rest of its peripherals, you get another Royal Clutch keyboard. This the G87 wireless with Logitech B170 wireless mouse. So matching RGB, wireless peripherals, clean desktop, definitely give it a nice appearance, and even a peek under the desk, also nice and organized. So, it doesn't cost money to be organized. Yeah, it might cost a few cents for some zip ties or whatever, but you're not gonna be spending a lot of money is what I'm saying, just to make it look nice, go that extra mile, and put in more time and dedication to clean up some of those cables and wires, just to give it a nicer look. I do feel like I'm in The Shining right now, I'll admit it, but it's all good. Good execution all around. I would just say pick a more lively desktop wallpaper to match everything. Give it a nicer look. All right, now is Ryan. This one, mwah, chef's kiss. Very nice. And real quick, not even talking hardware, but the way the room is designed is nice. With the darker walls, it looks like a deeper navy, so it's a nice contrast with the all-white desk, and it brings out the blues with the RGB light strip and the monitor wallpaper even, so real nice color choices. And this does seem like an IKEA desk setup, obviously, so again, the more affordable option there, saving money with IKEA. So on the right side of the desk is a 32-inch E-Star TV, again using a TV as a secondary display, with the primary monitor right in front of him being a Samsung 27-inch model. And also real quick for some peripherals, you can see we got a Sony speaker right under the monitor, and then the headphones off to the side are from Sony as well. They are the CH700N. Down to the main peripherals, the keyboard is from Pictech. It's a TKO with blue switches. For the mouse, the HyperX Pulsefire FPS Pro on a Piranha Speed mousepad, as well as the blue Snowball Ice for his microphone. And then the PC, which is the NZXT H500i case. Inside the Ryzen 5 3600 CPU with 16 gigs of Crucial Ballistics RAM on an MSI B550A Pro motherboard and an RTX 2060 WindForce for the graphics card. So one of the more stronger PCs we've seen today, yes, but still, before everything, exploded in terms of the GPU aftermarket prices, 2060, all things considered, the more affordable option. When you factor in 2070, 2080, you get the idea. So Ryan, like I said in the beginning, great setup, and I think just the contrast is what sells it for me. The nice dark blue on the white, and again, even having things like the plants and stuff, the little bamboo off to the left side, adds a nice splash of brightness and stuff with the light green. Then rounding us out today is Daniel with another L-shaped desk setup that utilizes a glass desk for the primary, and then sort of using like a shelving unit off to the right side, like a little bookshelf kind of thing, as the extended portion of that desk. So for his monitor, going with the classic Asus 24-inch 60Hz display. This is a very popular gaming monitor. Also comes in just at around $100, mounted up on a bracket off to the right side, so it has a more clean floating look underneath it, as you can see. And then as he's demoing, different wallpapers, matching the RGB, switch it all up, match it all nice. For his peripherals, he's a HyperX Alloy FPS with Logitech G305 wireless mouse. Two very solid budget options for the main mouse and keyboard combo, but also for his headset, the one area where you could say he splurged, the more premium option for the headset, going with the Logitech G Pro X. Now behind it is a pre-built HP Pavilion PC. Don't have too much info, but he says for the specs has an i5 5700 CPU and an NVIDIA GTX 1050 for the graphics card. Now, if it is, that's not too bad of a build. Definitely a sleeper look for the pre-built case they always use. But again, I will say as a little tip, I would definitely look around to try to find a budget case just to make the setup look more modern, because the look of that pre-built case, I think, is holding the setup back a little bit. You know what I mean? Cooler Master, by the way, has some great cases around $50 and under. Then also off to the side, you can see an iPad Air 3, which you said is solely used for school. So putting the L-shaped desk to use, really like the way it all comes together, and it's done pretty well by the RGB light strip, I think. With the desk being glass, obviously it's gonna shine through that, so it looks a lot brighter, fills the room more. Nice little shelf up top with some boxes, little plants. All together, really good stuff, Daniel. Alright guys, that'll wrap it up for episode 239 of Room Tour Project. Hope you enjoyed this budget edition. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up to show your support. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at randomfrankp. And lastly, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Hope you all enjoyed. Have a good day.